Tampa, Florida. It's somewhat hard to argue that Alex Ovechkin has endured a career of hardships, what with his 7 Rocket Richard trophies, 3 regular season MVP awards and the safety net of a 13-year contract worth a whopping $124 million. But you look at his playoff resume and your stomach sinks. In his first 9 postseason appearances, Ovechkin never made it out of the second round. In 7 of those years, he's ended in heartbreaking Game 7 fashion. He's been swept by the Tampa Bay Lightning, been upset by the 8th-seeded Montreal Canadiens and 3 times lost to Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins, who then went on to win the Stanley Cup. It's enough to lose your hair over. Or, in Ovechkin's case, to turn it grey. So the fact that he finally got over that second-round hump this year, finally got the better of Crosby and finally had a bounce go his way in a pivotal Game 7, has done something to his confidence that no regular award previously could. Ovechkin, who has been flashing that trademarked gap-toothed grin more and more these days, seems a whole lot happier. And he has a reason to be. Thanks to his 2 goals and 4 points in the Eastern Conference Final, the Washington Capitals stole both games on the road against Tampa Bay and headed back home for Game 3 on Tuesday, needing just 2 more wins to reach the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in 20 years. He's obviously having fun, Capitals head coach Barry Trotz said. He's producing. He's all in. We asked our group, if you're going to have success you have to have all-in contributions, and he has. I think he's enjoying the runs, the playoffs, maybe for the first time in a long time. He's the face of the franchise, and as the face of the franchise you get a lot of credit but you also get a lot of the blame. And because of that, I think at times it's taken the joy out of it. Alex Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals celebrates with teammate Evgeny Kuznetsov after scoring a goal in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida on May 13, 2018. Bruce Bennett, Getty Images. This isn't the Ovechkin that we thought we knew. He isn't getting frustrated, he isn't being called out for his lack of effort, lack of leadership and inability to come up big when it matters the most. He had a goal and an assist in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final. In Game 2, with the Lightning switching up their defensive matchups, he had another goal and assist. We just couldn't slow him down, Lightning head coach John Cooper said. It's not an overstatement to say that Capitals, who have been without top center Nicklas Backstrom for the past 3 games, wouldn't be here without Ovechkin. In Game 7 against the Penguins, it was Ovechkin who set up Evgeny Kuznetsov for the overtime winner. With 10 goals and 19 points, HES joined Vegas' Marc-Andre Fleury and Winnipeg's Mark Scheifele and Connor Hellebuyck as the early front-runners for the Conn Smythe Trophy. As Cooper said, it's as if HES taken 14 years of frustration out on this year's playoffs. There's a reason he has 600 goals and HES done all these wonderful things in the league, Cooper said. In the past HES not had playoff success, and when you do get to taste a little bit of it, it really tastes good. It's a convenient and somewhat lazy to suggest that. All it took was getting past the Penguins for Ovechkin and the Capitals to collectively exhale and get back to playing the kind of hockey that made them divisional winners in 8 of the past 11s. And yet, there might be some truth to it. I think if we're being serious here, I think getting past that second round is a relief for him, Capitals defenseman Matt Niskanen said. I think beating Pittsburgh was a huge deal for him. We earned that. That's a good feeling for all of us. We're excited to be here. We're excited for what we accomplished so far. We're really taking advantage of it. We're excited to play and know what's at stake, so we're going after it. Lightning goaltender Andrei Vasilevsky makes a save on a shot by Washington's Alex Ovechkin during the first period of Game 2. Chris O'Meara, Ovechkin certainly knows what's at stake at the age of 32. He led the league with 49 goals this year, but he probably doesn't have many more 50 goals in him. The team around him might be changing too. Capitals defenseman John Carlson and heart and soul forward Jay Beagle are both pending free agents, so there is the possibility that this could be Ovechkin's best, and perhaps last, chance at winning a championship. That could explain the sense of urgency in his game. No question, HES enjoyed a Hall of Fame career. At the same time, there exists a cup-sized hole in his resume that would put him on par with Crosby, Gretzky and the game's other greats. I think a lot of people define careers that way, Trotz said. I said earlier that the way I look at it is, the way you live your life, the way you do things, how you've done them, that should define you, not trophies, and those are things that to me are nice, but in the bigger scheme it's about the person, friends, family and teammates. That's what really defines a career for me. It's a nice thought. And yet, for Ovechkin, an even nicer thought is hoisting the one trophy that has eluded him. Backstrom's makes impact off the ice. Backstrom's status for Game 3 remains unclear, but whether or not HES in the lineup, the Washington Capitals expect the veteran center to continue making an impact on the team. You see him talking to the young guys, he has a quiet confidence, Trotz said. He has a really good perspective on the game and all those things. So HES been a little bit of a father figure to some of the younger guys. He does it very quietly. Backstrom has missed the past 3 games with a right-hand injury he suffered while blocking a shot in Game 6 against the Pittsburgh Penguins in the previous round. Though he has 13 points in 11 playoff games, his absence has largely gone unnoticed because of the play of Lars Eller, who has stepped up and scored 2 goals and 4 points in the last 2 games. It's really up to Backy when he comes back, but it does give us some time, if we need him, said Trotz, adding that the second-line forward might not necessarily rejoin the second line when he returns. We have a plan that HASNT changed with Nicky for where he would go in. So when HES in, he'll be with, you'll see who HES going to be with. Email, mtrikos@postmedia.com, Twitter, @Michael Trikos.